We're going in with another pro player point of view analysis. This is the semi-final of the Red Bull Wallaloo qualifiers. So this is the last match before the winners are actually decided that go to Spain. So the winner of this series goes to Spain. This is the first game of the best of 7 series. It is Recon versus Vortex. Recon is playing the Zeus, and that is the player that we're going to choose to watch during this game. Zeus is one of my favorite gods to play. He's one of my favorite gods to watch. So I really wanted to see what Recon does, especially against a Ra, because I'm not sure what Ras are doing within the meta now. Whether they're going for the if they're going for the 2 town center fast farm, or if they're going for a 1 town center fast farm, or if they're going like fast into some aggression and then pulling it back later to get a kind of fast heroic after they get some Sphinx out. We're just kind of going to have to see. So what I wanted to watch is, how does somebody that probably knows the matchup better than me, what are they going to do? So what he's done straight away is he's found the gold mine that is close to the wood line. And if you can ever do this, you always want to drop a storehouse. If you're playing the Greeks, you want to drop a storehouse between them. Or if you're playing Norse, you want to drop the ox cart between them, because it just saves you time, saves you resources. If you're Egyptian, you can't, because you have to have a special building for each, but they're free, so it isn't as bad. But it means also that he can get a faster advance time, because he only has to put 1 villager on this wood to get enough for a temple and a house. And it looks like he's going up crazy fast, because the temple is already going up. Maybe he's doing a 15 out of 15 pop, which means he doesn't have to spend time building the house. Maybe that's also the play. We're going to have to see that. So the map is, I'm not sure if I said, but the map is Alfheim. He's already scouted to see that his opponent has a forward gold mine. So a forward gold mine with a sentry tower here. The sentry tower probably can attack to about here. So it means that if he gets some archers out, the archers can sit here and be able to sit on the gold mine. Or he could just go centaurs. The centaurs can use their special, run away, and be absolutely fine. So I think he'll be going up 15 out of 15 pop. He's got the 400 resources. This is something that you want to do if your opponent has a forward gold mine. If he had a back gold mine, I'm sure Recon would have been like, no, I'm going to do something completely different. It's actually really funny because I've been watching some of the casts, and they're saying about how he's a really a player that wants to sit back and play really defensively, when this is the complete opposite strategy. Going 15 out of 15 pop, not building a house, going full out on food, sharing this. This is all to put on early pressure. He could go early pressure into second town center. That is a really good option. And it's what he might be doing here. Unless, no, I think the 3 villagers to gold just means that he's going to get out that early Heracles. Heracles costs about 175. I can't actually check. I think he costs 175 gold. So it looks like by the time he advances, he'll have that 175 gold. He has 75 food, I think. So he'll be able to get out a second... Oh, no, he isn't going... He's not getting any favor. So he isn't going for centaurs. So maybe he is going into just 2 heroes, centaur, lots of pressure. Is there any good things over here? Temple, food, text costs less. Villager does more attack. So the text costs less are nice, but everything else, not really too sure. So it does look like he's getting that Heracles out. He's actually getting pickaxe. So it's just the 2 early heroes, really, really early, to put some pressure on the gold mine before the towers are up, because the enemy Ra wants to go up a little bit later, and you can see that Vortex is actually putting some houses around, but these houses are really, really close, and these priests aren't going to do anything because they're not in the next stage yet. So this is some super pressure. There's so much. He's getting so much gold. Maybe the enemy player knows that he's going to be pushed off of gold, so he's getting as much as possible now. He has basically all his villagers there. I mean, we can see here, obviously, if we were playing as the perspective of Recon, or he's just doing it to get loads of priests out. Maybe because he thinks that the centaur is actually on the way, because that's what I thought. But it looks like Recon's going for a second town center based on how he's put his economy. He's got 300 wood, 300 gold. It means he's really close to a second town center. So he's just putting on this early pressure, making the opponent respect that, and then he's going for a second town center. I'm sure that is exactly where these villagers are going, and he can't stop the pressure, because he needs to act like there's more coming. And the villagers are really low too. And this special's going to do so much damage. Oh, they're so low. But also the priests are really low. Heracles is an absolute unit, so he can do a lot. Bolt onto the Pharaoh, really good idea, because the Pharaoh was, I think, full HP. He hadn't been touched. He could do so much damage with just this. Look at all this idle time as well. This is crazy. And off of this, Heracles might go down, but there's going to be villagers going down. I'm not sure this is worth from Vortex. This is a crazy advantage to Recon. Wow, and that's it. That was all because he had a forward gold mine. Recon had a gold mine that he could share here. He could have also done a similar strat with straggler trees. He could have done the exact same, but it's because he chose to go up early. He literally sent his scout right here, went, fine, enemy gold mines forward, we're going to go for that. And then rather than fully commit with the centaurs, he was like, no, my 2 heroes plus my centaur can do so much damage. Heracles is a unit. Look, he's got 358 HP. These villagers don't stand a chance against him. And these centaur specials, just the micro that he could keep pulling back with the priests was absolutely crazy. I think because this one's really short, we're going to go into Recon's second game and see how that one goes out. Because, yeah, this was a really short one. Okay, we are jumping into a second game here because Recon did one of the fastest games of the entire tournament. So this is, what is the map? The map is Marsh. Extremely high hunt map. Recon is playing Loki against Vortex that is playing Set. So why is Recon picking Loki here? So Loki can put on a ton of pressure if he wants to. If he wants to go for the raiding cavalry, he can. He also has the bonus of extra counter unit damage. So something like the raiding cavalry against the chariot archers or raiding cavalry against the slingers means that the raiders do extra damage. Same as the Huskarls. Also throwing axemen against a classical fight. So if the set player decides to do a classical fight with axemen and spearmen, the throwing axemen do extra damage. And I think this is something where Loki is really slept on, is the extra counter damage units. And this is something that's really annoying. It seems that the villagers always favor going to an ox cart even when the town center is slightly closer, which is quite kind of annoying. It's just something you're going to have to micro and kind of pay attention to. Early spy onto the food villagers. So this isn't going to be the same as last time because this is a much safer gold mine. The enemy set player could put a wall kind of here, a wall maybe here, maybe the temple here, maybe some houses there, and that's it. That is going to be really hard to raid. He doesn't have any ranged units that could sit the other side of the trees. So, oh, excuse me. And we will carry on. So this map is also, so how this map works is it has loads of hunt in the center, loads and loads of boars, and it also has lots of relics. So are there any good relics? So this Eye of Ornlu, extra throwing axeman attack. This is going to be great, especially with the Loki bonus that I mentioned at the start of the game. Head of Orpheus, extra line of sight. I think this is a slept on relic. I think 8 line of sight for buildings is huge, especially because buildings and walls barely give any, if any now. So that is it's a really good relic. Increases villager movement speed by 10%. This one is a good relic for something that's open like this. If it was a more closed off map, it isn't as important because your villagers are mainly going to stay around your base. You can defend them easier. It is obviously 10% less walking time because they are 10% faster. But it's more if our Loki player Recon wants to come out to this hunt and then he gets raided, he can run away a little bit easier. It obviously isn't massive, but villagers are pretty slow, so it is nice to just get a little bonus here. So it looks like Recon is again going for a fast advance time, not as fast as the first game, but kind of a more standard Norse build where he's going for a 4-minute. I mean, it's standard at the top level to go for quite an early build here. In your more casual games, you'd probably see a 4:15 or a 4:30 while building an extra ox cart. But what Recon decided to do was not build the ox cart and get an earlier advance time. So something that you could take away from this is if you wanted to go for an early advance time, the way to do it is cut an ox cart, and it means that you'll have the resources to advance a little bit quicker. You do take the slight hit on the resources gathering from the trees, but he only had 2 villagers anyway, so I mean, it's not really going to be that much extra walking time. Now, we can see that the spy was used on the food villager, so this means that if these food villagers stay there, he will be able to see if they go out and hunt. It was also quite a good idea to do it on the gold villagers, because you can see when they go to their second gold mine, or if you'll go for a second town center or not. Um, but because this villager seems to have a lot of line of sight, you can actually see quite a lot anyway. So I really like that early spy, even though the enemy does know when you spy now. On the original game, they could never tell that. Cathara of Apollo, so this is the villager movement speed one that we were mentioning. Is there anything else that has been unlocked? Thundercloud Shoal, sorry. So this is 5% better against pierce attacks, which is pretty nice, especially up against an Egyptian player that's probably going to want to go chariot archers at some point and slingers. So this, he's either going for a shifting sands play, or no, he isn't. He's probably going for a second town center here. So this is something where they awkwardly waddle off here. So I mean, unless he's choosing to go on a second hunt spot there, and these villagers are going to move over to gold, then you would still know. That's why this spy is so strong. But Recon will know that he is more than likely going for a town center or just awkwardly walking here. So he's just going to this gold mine. It'd be a bit strange. So now the ball is in the court of Recon, which is the guy that we are watching. So what he's deciding to do is get eco upgrades. He's gone for 1 military building. So this means that he's probably going to go in for raiders, and Marsh is a relatively open map. So he's going to have to get some damage done here with the raiders probably. Unfortunately, getting caught out with the troll. Trolls are really slow, and there's so many animals for this map, which is why Set is so strong here. Because there's so many animals to convert. So what Vortex is probably doing is he had 3 priests here, so you could just assume that he is going for these ones, he's going for these ones. So what Grass needs to know, he's also seeing some cheeky stuff here, is that he's going to have to sit in his base, and when he wants to push out, these probably won't be available to him. But he's also pushing these, which is really funny. Hearst is walking around in a pack. Has he got the upgrade for them? I don't think I can see it. He doesn't have Hall of Thanes. It says what he builds, unfortunately. I didn't see it coming up. Oh, Hall of Thanes coming up now. Okay, perfect. And Eyes of the Forest, which is he can see more. Now I don't really know exactly how this upgrade works, so maybe we will be able to see it, but any amount of scouting is good. But the reason that the reason that I might have said Grass earlier is because I actually casted one of his. I did a point of view of him earlier. But what Recon is actually doing here is he's getting Hall of Thanes and only a handful of hearses, because he knows that the Anubites are coming, and it looks like he's doing some kind of 2TC kind of classical age push, or at least pressure. So I'm not sure what the best response is here for a Loki player. Whether he's going to go few units out to defend, or put on a slight bit of pressure to this, and then go for a heroic age timing through something like Bragi. Bragi with the hearses and the flaming weapons. Classic combo where you get more myth unit spawns. Any human unit of Loki can get a myth unit spawn, but hearses are more likely to get one. So this is why flaming weapons is even better, because you do more damage, means you get more myth unit spawns, and it can be really good. Even though the set player is probably going to have a lot of priests out, but I mean, free units are free units. But it does look like he is going pure hearses into a second town center, delayed town center. So he's kind of going to be chasing Vortex. If he knows he's gone for a second town center, which is over here, I mean, if I spotted it, I'm sure that he spotted it. Even though obviously I don't have to concentrate on any of the macro decisions, but Recon's going to be a way better player than me. But he does have all this safe hunt here, and again with one of the other videos from this map, is these small walls on a map like Marsh give so much value, because we're not sure if this is cut off. It looks like this might be cut off. We'll have to see. But even if it's not, he'll have to run all the way around here, and there's a cheeky house here, which is the only way that they can walk. So this house was probably for vision early, but now he's seen that it's actually cut off here, so there's nothing to worry about. Unless the opponent gets a dock, but that's a lot of investment just to come over here. So if the enemy set player wants to raid this, they have to run around all through your base to actually get to this gold mine, get to this hunt. So this is why this is where Recon is actually going, and this is probably why the second town center's here. It's just stabilize. Maybe we're slightly behind because the enemy went for a second town center, but not too bad. But this is where it's changed. So he's saying he's equaling the second town center, going for a third, which means he is going to have to sit back slightly. And I believe this is what Recon is known for, is playing more of an eco game. Even though the last game he went so quick. And these relics are just being left, which is crazy. Especially this one. It isn't good for the set player, but it's good for the Norse player. So why would the set player not just take it away? There's 9 priests here. I'm sure one of them could have stepped back and taken that relic. Forward obelisk coming in for the set players. Obviously a good play. But what is Recon doing? So he's going through Bragi. So this is what we said earlier. He's also doing this. I thought he was just doing this to get more favor, but actually he's just doing it because he's got one villager here and he wants to just kill it so the villager doesn't lose any HP. But also I think you do get a favor for killing these. There's going to be some obelisks here. Just send one unit onto that and just carry on scouting around. They're no slouches with their 5.2 speed. Oh, gold mine here. And it's got a little bit of gold taken out of it, but it looks like Recon isn't committing. That's because the villagers were actually pulled back there. Random house, that's what Norse players like to do. Although your villagers can build houses now. At the top level, maybe you're not going to see it as much. Oh, vision coming down. Is he going to use like a random plague of serpents, random ancestors? I think he used it here, so there's not much going on. He's just seeing where the reinforcements are, or if there's any reinforcements, and this is where the ancestors come down. But Recon's ready for the ancestors because he's got loads and loads of hearses. I think he'll just sack this town center and he'll just take the L on it basically. But the enemy player probably thinks that this is his second town center because it's quite rare that a Norse player is going to go for 3. So he's probably not got quite the value from this that he wanted. I mean, obviously he would want to keep it up, but it isn't so bad. Especially he's got to the heroic age. Just the damage from this town center would have taken out loads of animals, and he's basically traded that town center for ancestors, which is going to be debatable whether that's worth it. Obviously, we're not sure. But I'm sure Recon had that in the back of his mind. He also used Plague of Serpents. Where'd the Plague of Serpents go? Did he use that on the town center as well? Okay, so surely that's worth. You built a town center for 350 wood, 350 gold. You didn't spend any villager time on it because you're Norse. You just had an army that wasn't attacking anyway. So you've traded 700 resources basically for 2 god powers. I'd say that's worth. He's sitting back right now, getting hearses out to deal with the incoming probably spam Scorpion Men, or expected to be spam of the Scorpion Men because they're so strong. He doesn't know this, but the enemy set player actually only has one monument. But right now you could have 3 monuments easy. 4th one not too bad at 12 minutes in. But he's just rebuilding. This army isn't huge. Obviously, he doesn't want to commit the battle boars because there's just so many priests here that probably have the Nephthys upgrade. They don't. He's got a couple of armory upgrades, though. Do we have any armory upgrades? No, we don't. Actually, we are getting the armory upgrades now. And something that's really good for Loki to get is copper weapons. So rather than getting mail and shields, if you get weapons first, that means you're more likely to get a myth unit spawn. That's the only civ that I would probably suggest getting weapons first. Because what I like to do is get mail or the shields. Why do I keep forgetting what shields is? Because then your units survive longer. But as Loki, you want to deal more damage, especially with the flaming weapons. It means that that's going to be boosted even more. So I actually really like that play. He's going for a bit of a surround. I think his army's going to win this fight. The only thing that he has to worry about is the priests. Is he going to use flaming weapons? He wins this fight with the flaming weapons for sure. Easy troll spawn there. We're going to see what happens. He can't... If the enemy can't run away, but it just means that can the priests kill all of the myth unit spawns? It's going to be a bit of a struggle. So this was a hard win fight for Recon. That was just a really nice play. He was He was just waiting for his time, rather than worrying about the third town center. He knows that his opponent's probably 2 town centers. He is too. So you just wait. You wait for your moment. And all of these hearses was such a good idea. The extra copper weapons upgrade just to kill them even faster, rather than spending the money on the ones to keep your units alive. And then he still has flaming weapons to push through the forward Migdal that he knew was there because he had the spy right on the villagers. And again, Recon comes out with the nice win. He's played both of these games so well and so differently, which is actually crazy. So he played the first game really aggressively, and then this one he played very defensive, but more just waiting for that time, not just booming, but just saying you can, like, I'm going to try to take this third town center. He got it, and then he just sacked it. He's just like, no, it's fine. I'll definitely trade that for one or maybe 2 god powers. Probably wasn't expecting the second one. And then just waited to get a massive unit. I think this is something to take away from if your opponent goes for 2 town centers or even a third town center. He definitely did have the second. Is you just gotta not worry, and you will be able to get a timing later on. And something that I struggle with is I think I need to attack now, because the opponent's got 2 town centers and I've only got 1, or they've got 3 and I've got 2, and I'm like, well, I need to do this right now, otherwise I'm going to lose. But actually, you've got more resources to spend. He's spending so many more resources on extra villagers that aren't going to pay themselves off. He's also had the villagers that actually had to build this thing. So you just got to bide your time, and even 13 minutes in, you can just go in and absolutely go in with full pot of your 2 town centers. So that was a really nice play from Recon. And yeah, if you like these things, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.